Go into the settings. Remember, these passwords are not to be shared with anyone. Hit start. You go technician or store password, and that's how you can go ahead and check it. Now, I'm not changing anything. I'm just going to walk through the procedure. I'm going to go ahead and hit technician, type in my new password, hit return, and at that point it's going to ask you to type it in again, hit return, and then hit save. Okay, we're not changing it, we're leaving it alone. I'm going to go back, store manager, same thing. Okay, we're not changing it, we're just going to go back. So this date here is for today's date, okay, with today's time. Time, this is where you're going to go ahead and make sure your time is correct. Okay, right now it's in a 24-hour period, but if I wanted to see what time it was in PM, click on PM, and it says 7:26 PM. So we're going to go ahead and put it back into 24-hour time zone. I'm going to go ahead and hit back, so I don't want to change nothing. Now date, I can go ahead and select the year, the month, and the date. That is correct. Hit back. If you replace the UI, you got to make sure you find the date of the install. Look at the controller to the left. It should, unless they didn't update that. Now it's replaced before. Factory settings. Manufacturing date. Install date. So let's say the install date was different than what's shown there. Click on it and select your install date. Enter in a serial number. That may or may not be in there all the way. However, go ahead. Model number, if you want to change the model number, add that into it. Okay, you can select from here. There's only the one, or we can just go ahead and hit back and keep it as unknown if it's not there. Store number ID. You can put the store number if you want. So if the store number is Wendy, W for Wendy's 123 or something like that, you can hit return and hit saved. Now that's your store number. Okay. Very important when we start using Wi-Fi that that store number is in that UI, because when it's sending data back and forth, it's sending all this information right here with that data back and forth. Okay, to that, for that serial number, for that store ID. And that takes care of the factory settings. I'm going to go back, import, export from USB. Again, here's where you can turn around and import recipes from a USB. Export recipes out of this UI so you can use it into a different one. Hit export. Okay, so if I hit import right now, cannot be canceled once started. Insert USB drive and then continue and confirm to proceed. So we're not going to do it. I'm just going to hit X. Export recipes, same thing. We're not exporting. And export system logs. If you're going to export system logs, make sure you have an 8 GB USB stick formatted to FAT32, and it needs to be empty. Stick it in the USB port and go ahead and export system logs. It's going to ask you again, once it starts, it cannot be completely stopped. We're going to hit exit. Make sure if you're playing around with the controller, you do not hit the green check mark without having the ability to download the information. Once you get into there, you're stuck. It has to download that information and the UI will be locked out from use. Hit the back arrow. And again, we're down to import, export. We'll go down to reset to factory defaults. Okay. And hit start. Reset recipe to defaults, reset system to defaults. Software update. Okay, software update, you put a USB stick in the bottom, and at that point there, it's going to, you hit the start update. Once you start this process, you cannot stop it. It's going to look for that software. Okay, so make sure it's you have a good USB stick. So if we send you a link to download software, follow the instructions carefully. Don't look at the pictures. Follow and read the instructions carefully. If you don't understand them, please call us so we can help you. And that takes care of the first chapter of Factory. Garland, a well-built company, thanks you for taking this training.